Welcome to the world of elastic audio, a place where you can instantly match different phrase loops to a master tempo and key, or rephrase and repitch a recording in real time using MIDI commands. A place where multi-sampling no longer exists, as a single sample is all you need to play sound across a wide range of keys. How does audio become elastic? By using Roland's VariPhrase technology, found exclusively in the new VP-9000 VariPhrase processor. This rack-mount audio processor offers a major leap in technology that conventional samplers and software cannot deliver when it comes to real-time control of sound. In this video, you'll not only hear what the VP-9000 and VariPhrase can do, but also the many creative ways you can utilize this technology in different applications. What is VariPhrase? VariPhrase is a new proprietary technology from Roland that allows complete real-time control over audio. All of the basic elements of sound, including pitch, time, format, and groove, can now be controlled independently via MIDI or the front panel knobs. Put simply, Roland has broken all the rules of controlling audio by making it elastic. For example, you can now take audio and change the key, length, inflection, and even the feel, all in real time. First, let's talk about how the VP-9000 trains audio to become elastic. Here is a three-dimensional view of a sound. Here we can see the time and frequency of a sound and all the dynamic factors that affect a sound's characteristics. The VariPhrase processor analyzes the sound and encodes MIDI controller information based on what it finds and adds this information to the sample. There's no destructive slicing or change made to the sound. Based on the sound's characteristics, you'll then select the optimal VariPhrase encoding algorithm. There are three algorithms to choose from: solo, backing, and ensemble. Solo is used on monophonic sources, such as voices, and single-note instruments, such as saxophones. Backing is used for rhythmical sounds, such as drums and percussion. Ensemble is used for polyphonic sounds, such as choirs or strings. Once the encoding is done, you can now interact with the sound using the front panel knobs or via MIDI. You now have capabilities with sound that you never thought of before. To illustrate this point, let's compare the VP-9000 with a conventional sampler. Here we have a Roland S760 digital sampler that represents the current technology of conventional samplers. If we play a drum loop at its original tempo and pitch assigned to middle C, it plays back fine. However, if you play a few steps up and down the keyboard, the pitch and tempo change together, making it difficult to use the sample outside of a very short range of keys. If you play back the loop at half speed, it is totally unusable. That's because on a traditional sampler, samples are static. On the VP-9000, we have recorded the exact same drum loop. But now, you can easily change the tempo with the front panel knob, and the pitch remains constant. You can even change the feel or groove of the drum beat. Here we make a straight drum rhythm swing. Of course, this is even more impressive on pitched material like a voice.
Welcome to the future.
Again, with a conventional sampler, when we play back the voice on the original note, it sounds fine.
Welcome to the future.
However, if we try to play a chord or simple harmony, the voices play back at different tempos and pitches, making the sampled voice unusable.
Welcome to the future.
On the VP-9000, we can play the exact same voice again, but this time we can add harmonies in real time.
Welcome to the future.
Notice that the added harmony notes play along at the same speed as the original voice. You can even sample a voice and repitch it in real time by playing back the vocal phrase in legato mode.
Welcome to the future. Welcome Welcome to the
This means you can create
future.
entirely new
Welcome
melodies
to
from
the
existing vocal
future.
performances in real time as you play. You can also change the phrasing of the vocal using the time control.
Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future. Welcome to the future.
Now that you have a better understanding of what VariPhrase technology can do, let's take a closer look at the VP-9000's features. The VP-9000 samples or captures audio either through analog or digital inputs. You can sample from the front panel with a microphone or use the rear inputs to sample from analog or digital sources. Once you've sampled a sound, you can then perform edits such as loop, truncate, and several other types. The next step is to encode the sample with the VariPhrase algorithm that you want to apply. Once the sample is encoded, you can then manipulate the VariPhrase parameters such as pitch, time, format, and groove. Without even connecting a MIDI device, you can control a sample playing on the VP-9000 with its dedicated real-time knobs. Each knob sends MIDI controller information that can be captured and edited by a sequencer. The VP-9000 has a multi-timbral performance that can contain up to 6 parts. Each part can be set to an individual sample, group of samples, and an event map which lets you control each step of a phrase. Each one of the parts can be set to follow sync information for pitch and tempo, making it possible to have your samples slave to your sequencer as if the audio was MIDI data. You can also easily match different loops and phrases to the same key and tempo. We'll demonstrate this later. The VP-9000 works much differently than an ordinary sampler because it can independently process format in solo mode. It is no longer necessary to multi-sample a sound to play it across the keyboard. Now, one sample can be used on a wide keyboard range, making it possible to articulate a sample or play chords of a single sampled source. The VP-9000 is easy to navigate and edit, thanks to an intuitive interface with graphic icons. The large LCD screen makes it easy to view and edit samples with full waveform display. The VP-9000 can be expanded using standard SIM memory to increase its 8 MB internal memory to 136 MB, giving you a total sampling time of 14 minutes mono and 7 minutes stereo. In addition to sampling and the unprecedented audio manipulation that can be achieved on the VP-9000, you can also add up to 3 effects simultaneously on a part. These effects include separate reverb and chorus, plus a multi-effects processor with 40 algorithms. You can even resample with effects, allowing you to free up the processors for another use. In addition to its sampling capabilities, the VP-9000 can read a wide variety of sample formats, such as Roland S700 series and Akai S1000 libraries, plus AIFF and .wav file formats. This wide range of compatibility gives the VP-9000 an incredibly large sample library to draw from. The VP-9000 comes with a built-in ZIP 250 drive that can hold lots of sampled material. 2 built-in SCSI ports allow you to use standard SCSI devices as well, such as CD-ROM drives and hard drives. The disk format is DOS-based, so you can put a VP-9000 disk in your computer and load .wav or AIFF files onto the disk and transfer them into the VP-9000. You can also audition a sound from disk before you load it. This helps save time when you're looking for the perfect sound to encode. This works either from the built-in zip drive or through SCSI. The VP-9000 has professional inputs and outputs that musicians and engineers demand for studio applications. There are 6 TRS balanced output jacks and 2 digital input and output jacks, coaxial and optical. VP-9000 applications. Anyone in music production or remix will love how they can record vocals into the VP-9000 and create realistic harmonies, fix bad notes, and even re-sing vocals. Now, producers and remixers can make vocals fit a track rather than the other way around. Here we have 2 samples of 2 different vocalists.
Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby.
Each can be repitched or have their tempo adjusted in real time. With individual control of pitch and time, you can rephrase the vocal line.
Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby.
You can layer both vocals to create natural harmonies together. This is a great tool for making vocal harmony blends with just solo material played from a keyboard.
Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby.
After you build your vocals, you can have them slave to a master tempo from your sequencer for real-time time stretching to fit your tune.
Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, baby. Don't you let me go, don't you let me go. Don't you let me go, baby.
Musicians will love how they can now take sampled phrases and make them conform to their music. No longer do you have to write your music around your samples. Now composers can speed up, slow down, repitch, and regroove their samples to make them work where they haven't before. For example, here is a guitar phrase that can be adapted from its original key and tempo. Now it can be adapted to a new key just by playing the phrase on the keyboard in the key you want. Now change the tempo to what you want. You can also rephrase instrumental lines. Here's a sax line when you play it on its original key. The VP-9000 accepts MIDI controller information, so you can rephrase and repitch the solo line in real time. Notice how the keyboard player changes the whole phrase using the keyboard and mod wheel. Of course, the same method could be used on orchestral phrases as well, making it possible to bring to life static samples such as string glissandi, tremolos, and timpani rolls, while being flexible enough for MIDI sequencing. Here we have several samples that normally wouldn't work together because of their different tempos and keys. But with the VP-9000, you can make them all follow one master tempo and work together using the abilities of VariPhrase technology. The VP-9000 is capable of being used in post-production as well. Static pre-sampled sound effects can now be stretched and manipulated to fit scenes. You can also change voiceovers and dialogue with VariPhrase to change inflections and tone in voices.
Effects caused with respect to the home and all its furnishings, as well as to domestic animals or pets. Not liable for damage or other adverse effects caused with respect to the home and all its furnishings, as well as to domestic animals or pets.
A simple sound can be altered to extremes with VariPhrase and be used for dynamic sound design. With this new and amazing tool, musicians, producers, and audio post-engineers now have complete control over their sound. Roland has broken the rules and made audio elastic with unprecedented control using the VP-9000 VariPhrase processor. For more information on the VP-9000, check out Roland's website at www.rolandus.com or call our faxback number at area code 323-890-3780 for more specific product information.